of an economy. As rightly said by Mr. Bharat Chauhan, it is the critical foundation for a modern economy. Well, you can see the pictures in the slide here, the expressways, the NHI, the tunnels here, and the flyovers. They are the foundation for this today's economy. I must say, civil engineers are never out of demand. This occupation, this profession, or these civil engineers, they're always on demand. Why do I say that? You know, the world, the global infrastructure, if I see, the huge population and the geographical areas still need to be covered, or they need infrastructure, including India. We are way short of the need of a global infrastructure. We are still falling short of it. I'll show you the slides. What's the role of a civil engineer? Why do we need it? See, when I say a developing country like India, the entire focus of a developing nation is on infrastructure development. Now the focus has shifted towards developing smarter cities, implementation of green environment, using or replacing the non-renewable energy sources, renewable energy sources, and making our country energy efficient. So there is never that a civil engineer will go out of scope as the role of or his role in a developing nation occurs. They will always be there. There will be in fact more in a developing country rather than in a developed nation. In what form? Now we are seeing the growth of the population, the urbanization is moving skyrocketing. So there is always going to be a shortage of the things or the projects or the infrastructure things needs. Like we need new roads, we need to renew the old ones, we need to have more railway projects like metros, we need to have more airports, we need to have, for that we need structural engineers of specific side of a civil engineer. A geotechnical means a soil engineer or a highway engineer. We need environmental engineers. Again, they are civil engineers with a specific studies on environmental assessment or energy efficient. So another branch can be, we need also people who are skilled in water resource management. We know that we need to have water lines, the implementation of water management schemes, water management plants in the city. So there again, the role of a civil engineer. So our prime minister of the country, he's too much into this infrastructure development that he wants to change the entire the things. Like he wants us to develop smart cities. Also he wants to give us affordable housing for all the people. So this is never going to die down. This is going to just move up and up. So civil engineers are needed everywhere as planning engineers, structure engineers, soil engineers, highway engineers, and so on and so forth. Let's see, really the civil engineers, they have developed some cutting edge technologies as far as the structures is concerned? Yes, they have. Many of you must have gone through these in the internet, the Burj skyscrapers, the heights of more than 850 meters. If you see on the right hand side of this slide, just imagine the type of the things which have been constructed and made by the civil engineers. The surrounding structures and the height of this structure are both the way. The infrastructure building, it has come up a long way. We started from the same old London Bridge. The London Bridge is falling down, the rhyme which we have heard from a nursery rhymes. It is there since centuries. It has developed over a period. Like we have the stone bridges, we have the wrought iron bridges, we had the masonry bridges, and now what we have, the structures which you see on this slide, they are the best structures in the world in a way. Just see the beauty, the aesthetics, and this technical development in these structures. The Akashi Kayako Bridge, it is one of the longest suspension bridge in the world, located in Japan. So all of these have, they are the engineering marvels which have been designed by civil engineers. You can never deny the role of a civil engineer. Look at the aesthetics and the structural marvels which you are seeing now. They are the buildings which have come into form, shape, and they are you can say the pillars of the economy of various countries, including ours, which I'll show you. Look at the aesthetic and the structural marvels. Yes, the conventional structures, the houses which we see around are conventional structures. They are important. Affordable housing is important, but when I say development, when I say infrastructural development and the role of a civil engineer, it is dictated by these tall, long skyscrapers, long span structures, and complicated shapes. Any shape you think of, now they are all coming up in this way. We have seen so much of them, so many of them in Noida, Gurgaon, these skyscrapers. Let's not talk of outside countries. They're all the complicated shapes. It's not so easy. It is the role of a civil engineer. You know, the civil engineer is this branch is a royal branch in a way. You create something. You get that feeling of that I'm a part of this creation. So it's not easy. It's a tedious. So these complicated shapes or tedious designs, they are all the role of a civil engineer. And look at the aesthetics they add to the country, the economy they establish. These beautiful structures. Now, see, this is a South Indian pandal. It's just a political rally pandal. But imagine this whole large span structure being supported by these just minute tubular members. They are the trusses, all designed by civil engineers. So, civil engineering is the backbone of we must have heard of this Malaya Viaduct. It's a 7-span structure. When you travel on this bridge, you know, it's a motorway bridge, it's a cable stayed bridge. And when you travel on this span of 1.5 miles, you know, you're actually traveling 885 feet above the ground. It's an engineering marvel. It has been awarded the best or the outstanding structure award by International Association for Bridge and Structure. So these are some things which are real and created by the civil engineers. India is it's not that we are showing these beautiful pictures that they're not a part of it. They are very much. Let us see what India is making. India is making world-class infrastructure. To list a few, it's very, very few, very, very menial list I've come up with. The Jaipur Metro. Can you see the beauty of that? The Mumbai Bandra Sea Link, right? Mumbai Pune Expressways. The last picture which you see on the right hand side of the screen, it's in Gurgaon, it's in Noida. So this all are something created by the civil engineers, by us. We not exactly by us, we shape the country. The government, in fact, has a mission 2025. It is giving a huge push to the infrastructure development. If you have gone through the budget 2023, you must have heard that the mission of the Prime Minister and his team is that the infrastructure of the country has to have achieved economic target of 5 trillion US dollars by 2025, and the government is well supporting it. It says that you need to have best roads, railways, highways, aviation, shipping, inland waterways. And if you see the flow chart of the slide, they are offering, the government is giving so many policy supports. And last slide is the increasing investment. In this budget in 2023-24, the capital investment outlay for the infrastructure has increased by 33%. We can't even imagine 20 years back, so much huge push being given to this sector. So for this, we need good engineers, good civil engineers. And this slide is just the same eclipse of the budget. India is now standing 10th in the ranking with respect to the best environmental for infrastructure development. And to add a feather, we have developed, or we have been named as the second largest road network in the world. We have it spanning over 3.3 million kilometers. If you see the growth, this growth is spiral. If you see the sector composition, the civil engineering, cement and steel industry, it is growing multiple times. The index for the 8 core infrastructure companies, out of the steel and cement, they are just expanding. The key trend, if you see the road construction per day in terms of kilometers, in every financial year, right from 2015 to 22, it is skyrocketing. So this is the vision of the government, and we have to play a key role in it. This is the entire vision of the government of India. Nation building, India will require 4.5 trillion US dollar for infrastructure development. We need to make India a smart nation. You must have everybody heard about it, that we have to build 100 smart cities, and they've already been shortlisted, and people are working on it. And as I just said, India has the second largest road network in the world. This is the clipping from the newspaper Economic Times, which reflects that the budget 2023 was infrastructure-led economic growth should benefit all. If you see the small clips from that, the entire, the stimulus is on infrastructure by giving affordable housing, not to forget Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, affordable housing for all. He has this vision. He has a mission of sustainable cities of tomorrow, mission smart cities. He says that we need to have improved air connectivity, not to forget the role of our Union Minister for Road and Highways, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. He has been named as the highwayman of India. by the World Economic Forum. Why? He has been instrumental, in shaping the kind of infrastructure development which has taken place in this country in the last 10 years. He says that the road infrastructure by 2024-25 will be similar to that in US. And the government, as you see in the slide, in the clips is below, they are pumping in huge amount of funds, and projects are being given to, or are being started or initiated or going on. Just to add, I must add here, the Thapar Institute, they have been appointed by the National Highway Authority of India in some mega infrastructure project in one form or the other, like 4-laning of the roads in Himachal Pradesh. This is NH21. They have the team in Thapar Institute. I'll be outlining the team leaders here. They are safety consultants for the 4-laning of Jammu Udarpur section NH1. Many, so many of them. They are also leading consultants in many major infrastructure projects in India, mainly construction of bridges or 4-laning projects or safety audits and any other, the highways and other things. So this is our team, headed by the project team is headed by Dr. Naveen Kwasra. He's a professor in the department, and Dr. Prempal Bansal, who is the head of the department, and he's a works and safety auditor, and co-assisted by Dr. Tanu Chopra. His specialization is transportation engineering, and Mr. Rajesh Pathak, who has specialization in geotechnical. So this is what I said: the role of everybody, structural engineers, transportation engineers. So this faculty team in project team in Thapar Institute is it is supporting that dream. Some of the clips from the projects which the department has worked in, like this 4-laning of Harike in Punjab state, then construction, just a small 2 or 3 slides. So it's following the vision here. It's not only about the railroads and highways. It's also about the government is dedicated towards developing or revolutionizing the Indian railways. So there comes again the role of civil engineering, east-west corridors. So they're called the dedicated freight corridors. So the government is pumping more. We need good civil engineers. The government needs us, the country needs us. So similarly, airports. We are, India has become the 3rd largest aviation market. It will become by 2025. And according to the GDP, to achieve the GDP of 25, 5 or 4 trillion by 2025, India needs to spend about 1.4 trillion on infrastructure. And one of the major sectors is airports. So likewise, as I said, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, housing for all, it is something which is big. The dreams of the people, common man, have now been turned into reality. So by 2025, the construction market in India is expected to emerge as the 3rd largest. So this is smart. This is one aspect. Then smart cities. It is the engine of Indian economy. Government is, dedicated towards developing 100 smart cities. This will what it will look like, the futuristic blue smart city concept. This is the technology. This is just one small glimpse how our cities are going to look like. And we definitely have a role to play. Let me tell you how. This BE Civil Engineering scheme at Thapar University, Thapar Institute, we, in alignment with the vision of the government of India towards sustainable development, towards developing smart cities, and towards developing infrastructure, BE Civil Engineering scheme at Thapar Institute, it gives you engineering degree with focus areas. You can have a choice of, having specialization of smart cities, infrastructure development, structural engineering, and sustainability. So this is how we align. So we have, changed our curriculum, our pedagogy, changed our curriculum, change our scheme, as well as the teaching methods and the methods being adopted as pointed out by or laid down by Dr. Batish. We have all modified that. So this is entirely in line with what we are really short. The market needs, or it predicts a supply or gap of 44 million crore civil engineering professionals in India. This is not 2020. This was 2020 when there was no COVID, that thing. Now it is, the dearth has become, or this gap has become all the more wide. 50,000, there is a need, India will need. So approximately 2/3 of the GDP is being spent on the infrastructure development. We definitely need 4 million projected engineers in civil engineering. This is not 2020, this is now 2025, whatever I'm saying. So the Department of Civil Engineering at Thapar Institute, if I take you to the tour of this, it has aligned itself according to the vision of the government. The vision is that we need to develop our human resource. Now, here the human resource development is the engineers which you are making. They should have excellence in technical education, research, and what career opportunities. If somebody asks me what will I do if when I become a BE civil engineer, it's as simple as that. As I said, all the infrastructure which I've been seeing in the previous slides, this is all made by engineers. Culmination, it is the joint efforts of an architect, of an engineer, and then of a skilled worker or labor who make these structures. So you can start a job as a fresher in the industry, in the real estate sector. You can have you can work in PSUs, you can have government engineering jobs. There is another area or regime. You can, if you have an acumen for research, you can join as scientist positions. You can start your own entrepreneurial venture in India. And there are some students who may have an inclination for higher studies. You can do masters in civil engineering in European countries, US, Canada. You can have higher education in India itself. You can now the new thing is MBA. In what specific regimes? Infrastructure development, management, construction management, project management, real estate management. So these are the various options available to a civil engineer. So that should be very clear in our mind that what are you going to become after that, or where can you contribute as a civil engineer. The department has a legacy. It is as old as the institute, as Dr. Batis highlighted the legacy of the university. The same way, this is already said that it is well accredited by the national as well as the international agencies. Our stronghold is we are as old as the institute, and we have a long and prolific history. As said by Dr. Bhatt, strong alumni network is something which we are proud of. And then there are so many success stories. The strength are the programs, those programs which are aligned with the vision of the country, vision of the overall the infrastructure sector. As I said, so the strength is the various programs which we offer. In addition, we have bachelor's in civil engineering with focus areas, as I said, smart cities, infrastructure development, or structures engineering. But we have additionally bachelor's in civil engineering with computer application, wherein the student will be, he will be taught civil engineering with specific focus on the softwares being used for all these complicated, intricate designs or shapes or structures, which I just showed you in my last slides. In addition to bachelor's programs, we have the master's in structural engineering and infrastructure engineering and PhD or Doctor of Philosophy. We are very proud of the strong, base of our distinguished alumni. To name a few, we have placed some of them in the slides. Pravinder Mohan Singh, he is the DRM of Indian Railways. Engineer Mohan Dasani, everybody knows he is the CEO of Shapurji Pelunji Company, and many more. Strengths. The third, the most important, are the resources of the department. It's not only about the infrastructure. It's not only about the infrastructure, the state-of-art laboratories. It's about the faculty here, which we say or we are proud of, that we have such a strong, experienced faculty having their degrees from various national and internationally recognized universities. And we are really proud of it. And the faculty here is not only involved in teaching, they are into the research, they are contributing to the research, which can lead to some other innovative technologies being developed. They are involved in research activities and have been able to generate revenue about 300 lakhs in the past 6-7 years, more than 130 publications this is only essay index publications. And we are also have a very strong hold, as I just showed 3-4 slides, that how the faculty here is involved in consultancy work and working in tandem with the government projects. Highlights. So the highlights of BE Civil Engineering program, as I said, will have one is the BE Civil Engineering degree with specializations. As said, all these specific focused areas. Then BE Civil Engineering with computer applications, which I just outlined. That in addition to this, I just wanted to add in this, the students will be taught civil engineering courses within, there's focus towards software, STAD, AutoCAD, many more, Revit, then the GPS-based system, all the software which we have, and they will also be taught some 5 or 6 courses which are specifically computer oriented, like networks and all. So there's another thing. Every engineering stream in this university, the student can enter into any stream, including civil engineering, and get a civil engineering at the end of 4 years, B civil engineering. In addition, a minors in computers, for which he has to do 5 to 6 courses along with his regular scheme during this 4 years duration. 5 to 6 courses, it's totally focused on computer applications or computer subjects. So this is overview of the programs which we are offering here. The best part of the best highlight is, as said by Dr. Matish, we don't believe in rote learning or this traditional method of teaching. Our students here, they are exposed to experiential learning projects, means hands-on, the experience by their own hands. It's project-based learning. And our students, the industry is also somehow involved in the curriculum development or curricular development or training of these students and faculty here. So they're also involved. The experiential based learning, project based learning, and not to forget the outcome based research led teaching. So these are some key highlights. I'd like to add here, like for example, industry oriented. We are students in civil engineering, they go for 6 months industrial training in their 7th semester, many reputed companies, and they offer them scholarships, stipends also. And then, and the last but not the least, the best, the placements. We have 21 core civil engineering companies visiting, and many non-core companies who take the civil engineering students. Yes, the package of course, the computers is a little higher, but we have highest package of rupees 14 lakhs in last 2 years. So this is the salient features, as I said, is this. We have outcome-based teaching, research-led teaching, project-based teaching. We have capstone project, ELC activities or experiential learning activities. The students go for survey camp for 2 weeks after second year, where they're supposed to make the map of the area, which is normally a hilly terrain. Then they go for 6 months in the 7th semester in the project in some industry to get the feel of the things, which is of course a civil engineering industry. And then our curricula is reviewed after every 4 years. Yes, for all these things, we need to have well-equipped state-of-the-art laboratories, which we are just trying to show. And as I'll not go into the details of the international collaborations, already Dr. Batis said, so we have a strong international collaborations with TCD, University of Toledo, Leeds, or Queensland. And we have the curricula which is aligned with these universities. The best part is the strength of the department. The strength of the department, 28 in total, 5 professors, 5 associate professors, and 18 assistant professors. And if you see the kind of experience, just see the numbers of experience, the faculty, they have been there since last 20 to 25 years. Some new people joined, like the last one. So they have been there and they have got their education from the best places of the country or outside country. And so this one was the structural engineering group, a strong group. Here, highway and geotechnical engineering group, we have these faculty. Just see the figures or the numbers of experience these people have. We are really proud of our faculty here. This is the water resources engineering. So, and to add a further, this is the research profile of the faculty. The number of publications, the PhDs which have been completed, the patents. So these are the numbers which we are proud of. So as you see, the numbers are all the time increasing. Till this date means till this, in fact, not till this date, it's like till only March 2023, we have these figures. I think this pillar will still go up and further. And since our faculty is involved in structural, transportation, water resources, many other consultancy projects. So this is the figures of the consultancy earnings which our department have got. The recognitions. Dr. Prempal Bansal, who is heading the department, he received the ICI award for the best research paper on construction techniques. Dr. Shweta Goyal, she has been recognized as an innovative researcher in construction materials and techniques. Myself was awarded the best cited paper award in 2019. And the list is, we have just put us latest ones and the list is very long. Dr. Richa Baba, she was a STEM fellow in 2018. Dr. Manpreet, he has received the Student Paper Merit Award in ASC conference in Minnesota. And this is the list, which is very long, but we have still just capped it up to 2017 or 18. The best part of it, which we are very proud of, is the ELC activities. Our students do these learning activities by hand. They do it on their own. This one is the construction of a house using EPS panels. EPS are the polystyrene panels. So this is one of the, we should see here, the students have built this house, this plan of the house with this EPS panel. So this is a part of the affordable housing concept of Mr. Narendra Modi. So this is one. So many activities as outlined. This is the concrete ship or canoe which we took off, which the students were able to make a concrete thing and make it float in the lily pond of Thapar Institute. So you can see the teams here. Obviously, if it is floating, then concrete must be having something, and which they made. There were many teams which participated, and the one which could float easily with the maximum weight was the winner. The students constructed, not only they designed, they fabricated this shed outside the civil engineering department. So this was a third year student group, ELC activity for the third year. So on design and fabrication of the ELC steam shed in the department itself, it's very much in working condition. The ELC activity, the latest ones, the students were involved in an activity on design of roundabouts, very, very important for the traffic scenario of our country in today's scenario. Then similarly, stabilization. So we have the hilly areas where the soil is, vulnerable to triggers like earthquake, landslide. How to stabilize the soil. The students were given this activity to design, that slope in a way, or to stabilize the slope, physical slope, against the various environmental hazards or disasters it can be. And they have to give us suggestions, and they have to design that. So this was one of them. Today's important thing, damage analysis and health monitoring. The students were taught how the building can be, or they were involved in activity wherein they were to make a structure and do the analysis by non-destructive means. What is the health of that structure by UPV, means pulse velocity, or many other methods. So damage analysis or health monitoring of concrete structures. Last but not the least, the students were taught how to design the very common language Saria, how to put that Saria or detail that Saria in a building. This was one project which was given to the student. So this is how the students, they enjoy. It's not the common, that the same kind of teaching pedagogy we have been following, book reading, learning, giving exams. You get the feel of your civil engineering field when you actually work. Today, I just concluded one project in my lab where the students were asked to make a truss. A truss means a structure which to support, long span, like the one which I showed in Tamil Nadu. So they made that truss out of paper and tape. It has to be 2 meters. They have to support it, and maximum weight which the truss which supported it was declared the winner. So this is kind of the exposure which we are proud of that our students will get if they work here. It's not the civil engineering is all in the books, it's all in the field. And this is what the various companies, you must have heard many of them, EIL, Rambol, Sistra, Rights, Tata Projects, they visit our institute, L&T, very cool, everybody knows it. They come or visit our institute for placement for our engineers. And the students, the major organization which they visit during their project semester monitoring or training, various organizations they do visit, and most of them end up getting the job also there, because they do that 6 months training there. They get to know the company, and most of them are offered offer letters. And not similar, NHAI, DMRC, Sistra, L&T, to add, to name a few, Rights. These are the companies where our students, last but not the least, for everything which I'm sharing with you, we need to have the world-class infrastructure, the laboratories. They are our face, and we are equipped with the best equipments, both UG and PG. So these labs are being used by all the students. The names like structural engineering lab, soil or geotechnical engineering lab, CAD lab means computer aided design lab, structural mechanics lab, survey, very, very important aspect. When you start a civil engineering project, first to do the survey of the area. We have the survey lab. Water resources lab, transportation engineering lab. So I'll just move to the glimpses of the various labs. This is the structural engineering lab where we have these best setups. The UTMs, universal testing machines, compression testing machines, chambers, actuators, furnaces. The survey lab, we are very proud that we have the best survey equipments in North India. total stations, this digital global positioning system, theodolites, auto levels. As I said, no project you can start without doing a survey of the area. So these are the best of the best equipments which we have. The CAD laboratory where we have now the students, there are some courses where they are, they have to do some designing on structural softwares. So this is all done here. This is one of our best lab, the structural mechanics lab, where if you see, try to focus on what are these actually, they are the models of the structures which I just showed, like the truss. This one is the truss one, or any other like frame structures. So these are the models here. The students actually work on how these structural frameworks, they carry the loads in this lab. This is a geotechnical lab where the soil testing is all being done, like the UCS test or triaxial test. And the last but not the least, the transportation engineering lab, where we have the CBR, DSR, and various kinds of apparatuses for typically focused towards highway projects. We have huge amount of our consultancy coming in this in highway as well as structures engineering, and also in water resources. So this is the 16-meter long flume and various best apparatus we have in the hydrology lab. And we are very proud of our, there, as I said, awards and recognition by faculty. Very, very important is one achievement of the students. We are really proud of our students like Gursimar Singh. He was, he selected for UPSC. We have team of our civil engineers in final year, who bagged this civil award for the best innovative steel design and cash prize of Abhishek Bhagla. He is a batch of 2015. He had a rank of all India rank of 4 in engineering services examination, and so many more. There is a long list. As I said, one group of students, they work in private or government organizations. There are many students who go for higher studies, and we are very proud of our students. Mr. Aditya Singh, who is doing his MS at the University of Nevada in United States, he was also selected in Texas A&M for the PG program in transportation engineering. Madhav Verma 2020, he is working in Louisiana Transport Research Center as an RA or research assistant, and he was also selected in University of Waterloo. As I said, Mr. Agesh, we are very proud of him. He scored AIR of 4 in engineering service exam 2018. And this 3 students, Yatin, Bhavya, and Mayank, they scored AIR of 8, 20, and 24 in 2020 ESCE examination. Engineering services examination is conducted by UPSC specifically for civil engineers, mechanical, civil, electrical. So it's a government job totally aligned towards engineering development and infrastructures. And like this, we have some group of students who got selected at EIN. It's a Navratna PSU, Government of India, and we are very proud. And the package is 14 lakhs. And these list of students are those students who presented the research papers and were awarded in one conference or the other. So we also conduct conferences, workshops. Smart city is one of the aspects where we are involved. The department is involved in some glimpses of the workshop on smart city planning in association with IIT Delhi and Hero and Honda Foundation Japan. And the students here also have a society for civil engineers. The Thapar Society of Civil Engineers, the students throughout their 4 years, this Thapar Society of Civil Engineers, it conducts workshop, training visits, training programs, some guest lectures. They do site visits to DMRC, as you see in the slide, to the so that they get aligned with, or they get the feel of the civil engineering streams. And these are some snapshots of how this TSC it motivates the students, or it makes them, it aligns them with the curricula, with the books, with what is the field thing. This is how these are the various glimpses, like visit to DMRC or some highway or some lecture by AB group, Aditya Birla group, or workshop on the GATE examination. So what I feel is, what I try to show you in the slide, that civil engineers have a big role in today's economy, and the need or the requirement of a civil engineer is skyrocketing. We are, the country needs us, and we are the creators. Actually, we do creations which we are really proud of. If I design something, I always I'm proud of that in mind. This was designed by me. Like there's a shopping complex in Thapar Institute itself. I was involved in the design of that. Or Dr. Prem Parvansar, so many projects he has handled in Thapar Institute. So many as a done. So whenever you pass by those structures, you get the feel that you are the creators. You are somehow involved in that. So students, all the aspirants here, your role in the future of this country is much, much important, more important than what you realize. And I think the Thapar Institute gives you the right platform, the department gives you the right platform, institute gives the best, the best facilities, best faculty, and best exposure in terms of getting or entering into this BE Civil Engineering program at TIET.